the second game of the World Series by an all-time great pitching performance from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The Dodgers now have home field advantage coming back to LA for games 3, 4, and 5. The offense wakes up late, but tonight was about Yamamania. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ryan Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Monkey magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show, the number one Dodgers show on YouTube, number one Dodgers podcast. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation, and thanks for joining us after what was one of the finest, most impressive pitching performances, not just in Dodgers history, but in Major League Baseball history. When you put things into context, what we just witnessed tonight was one of the best pitchers that we've seen in October already get it done on the game's biggest stage against what has already been one of the very best offenses in the history of the sport. He didn't just shut down a bad offense. Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the road in Rogers Center just shut down a Blue Jays offense that had been averaging over 6.5 runs this postseason heading into this World Series, that scored 11 runs in Game 1. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he carved those Blue Jays up. He was incredible. He was outstanding. He made it look effortless like all the greats do. He was just breathtakingly dominant tonight when the Dodgers needed it. In a postseason where you need starting pitchers for you to go deep into a game, what did Yamamoto do? I got it. Take the night off, bullpen. Take the night off. He was absolutely outstanding. And he didn't do it with run support for most of this night. That's what made it so impressive. The Dodgers, they get a run early in the second inning, but then they had been dominated and weren't able to get anything off Kevin Gausman for most of this night before you got back-to-back home runs in the seventh inning, one by Will Smith, and after Teoscar Hernandez went down, you had one by Max Muncy, so you get two bombs in the seventh, and then you're able to tack on some runs. That was yesterday, but you're able to tack on some runs later thanks to Andy Pages was able to come alive. But the Dodgers, they end up getting the win in this one. They scored early in this game, and that's what you felt good about. You felt good about the fact that you gave Yamamoto a run right away. In the first inning, Will Smith, he singled to center after a 2-out double from Freddie Freeman, and then there was nothing doing for this Dodgers offense, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto had to pitch in a tie game where there was no margin for error at all whatsoever until the seventh inning when Will Smith got a 1-out home run. Really nice piece of hitting. Saw 6 straight fastballs, 1 runs in on him, and boom, Smitty goes deep to break the 1-1 tie to put the Dodgers up 2-1. Couple batters later, Max Muncy, he gets funky with one, and the funky Muncy crushes a solo shot to make it a 3-1 game, and then later the Dodgers able to get 2 runs on 2 hits thanks to a 1-out single from Andy Pages, a 1-out single from Shohei Ohtani, a walk by Mookie Betts, and then Jeff Hoffman had a wild pitch and made a 4-1 game. A couple batters later, Smith grounded into a fielder's choice to score Ohtani to make it 5-1. But for most of this night, Yoshinobu Yamamoto had to go out there on the mound against one of the best, statistically one of the very best offenses that we've seen in MLB postseason history, and he dealt, and he made them look foolish, and he hit George Springer, and he struck out George Springer. We hate you, George Springer. And tonight, Yamamoto gave up 1 run on 4 hits, no walks, 8 punch-outs in 9 innings of work. His postseason ERA is down to 1.57 for this postseason. Through 105 pitches, 73 for strikes. The curveball, which is such a money pitch, got him out of a massive jam in this one. And that's what you were so impressed with this outing for Yamamoto. It's not like it was, oh, this is a bad offense, a struggling offense. These guys were on fire heading into this game, and he shut them down, and he also did it in big spots. Bottom of the first inning, it looked like things were going to unravel early for Yama, and it looked like his start was going to go the route of Blake Snell's yesterday, where the Blue Jays get the pitch count up early, and then even if you are competing, you are battling, that they're still able to get you out of the game earlier than you hope. Remember, this postseason, the Blue Jays, they're holding their opponents' starters to under 4 innings per start. That's what they do. What the Blue Jays do, they take pitches, they make contact, and they get your starter out of the game faster than any team in the postseason. And in that first inning, it looked like that was going to be the case for Yamamoto. He gave up a leadoff double to George Springer after getting up the count 0-2, and then gave him another single, and then big moment in this game. One of the biggest sequences of this game came in that first inning with runners on the corners, the hottest hitter in the postseason at the plate, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Yamamoto falls behind the count 2-0, and then fights all. This guy has the heart of a lion. This guy is as composed and poised. He's as big of a competitor as anyone that we've seen in recent memory in the postseason. This dude, he's got that dog in him. He's got that lion in him. And in that at-bat, he falls behind 2-0 in the count, comes all the way back. In the 7th pitch, he gets Guerrero swinging with that curveball that was working for him all night. And a couple batters later, got Varsho looking after falling behind the count 3-0, comes back in the count and gets another strikeout. He gets him looking at that curveball, and he had to work his way around a leadoff double, and he had runners on with no outs. You had runners on the corners with no outs. He struck out Guerrero, got Kirk to line out, and struck out Varsho. Just an incredible night. But then after that, it was 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Yamamoto was absolutely incredible in this one. This is one that we're never going to forget. We're going to talk about forever. And I think that Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he's entering that exclusive club for Dodgers postseason pitchers. I've talked about it. There's that club within the club here in LA. You get in the club, it's like, okay, I'm in the club, but then there's that other velvet rope where the big ballers go, the celebrities go, and then you open that other velvet rope, and there's the club within the club. Yamamoto's in that club now with Sandy Koufax, with Oral Hershiser. I know it sounds crazy to think this, but when you consider last year they wouldn't have won the World Series without him, he was really their only true dominant starter. Jack Flaherty had some good starts, had some bad starts, did go 7 in game 1 of the NLCS, but when it comes to consistency, Yamamoto was their best starter last year. This year, he's given them everything they've needed. Game 2 of the NLCS, complete game. Game 2 of the World Series, complete game. The 2 biggest series of the year, the Championship Series and the World Series, Yamamoto in an age where there is never complete games. There's never complete games. He's done it twice in the postseason, in the Championship Series, in the World Series. I mean, this is something that you have to appreciate, you marvel at. Think about this. Yamamoto has had back-to-back complete games in the postseason. Back-to-back. That gives him 2. This year in Major League Baseball, every single team combined, every single game combined, there were 12. There were 12 complete games. There were 12 complete games total. And think about this. 12 complete games. You want to put that into context here? Do you know how many regular season games there are for a season, all teams combined? There are 2,430. And there were just 12 complete games in those games. And Yamamoto has 2 in consecutive go-rounds in the postseason in the 2 biggest series. This cannot be understated. This is something special that we are witnessing. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the first pitcher to throw multiple complete games in the same postseason since Madison Bumgarner in 2014. He's the first to throw back-to-back complete games in the postseason since Curt Schilling in 2001. He's the first Dodger to pitch a complete game in the World Series since Orel Hershiser in 1988. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, welcome to that exclusive Dodgers postseason pitching club, the all-time legends club, the Sandy Koufaxes, and the Orel Hershisers. It's a very, very short list of guys that have been able to deliver this level of greatness on this stage, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto is certainly one of those guys. Just an incredible outing that they needed because the bats weren't doing it, and he stepped up a complete game, a CG for Yamamoto. And how about, hey, where's Josh Reddick? Where's Josh Reddick here, right? The guy, you can't give a guy that kind of money. You can when he can go complete game in the World Series. But welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show, Dodgers Dugout Live. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit that like button for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, for your Los Angeles Dodgers, because they now have a much brighter outlook of this series. It looked like, Gausman's dominating. Dodgers offense not showing up. We're looking at a 0-2 hole, and all of a sudden, things change. All of a sudden, it's looking like home field advantage. It's looking like you got Glass now in Game 3, and you've got Ohtani in Game 4. A much rosier outlook to this World Series now, and the confidence levels are going back up. We're going to talk about Will Smith. We're going to talk about Max Muncy. We're going to talk about even Andy Pages, who was 3 for 40 at one point during this postseason. He gets a hit that really was big because it led to key insurance runs late, so you got to give him credit. But tonight, it really is about celebrating Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And when Yamamoto has a great start, you know what we need to do, Dodgers Nation. You know how we have to celebrate. That is with the Yoshinobu Yamamoto anthem.
1, 2, 3 Yamamoto Yoshinobu no mono mane shiteru Moshinobu Yamamoto Yoshinobu no mono mane shiteru Moshinobu Yamamoto Yoshinobu no mono mane shiteru Moshinobu Yamamoto Yoshinobu no mono mane shiteru Moshinobu.
Woo! Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And just a reminder that today's episode of Dodgers Dugout Live is brought to you by GearUp.LA. And we've got a lot of awesome Yamamoto gear over there. The Yamamania shirt. We've got the Yama shirt. And all of this supports the show. It supports the channel. It supports us. And there's a lot of awesome t-shirts over there. So go to www. Look at that, Yama! Go pick that up tonight while supplies last. Go to www.gearup.la. Definitely go check that out. By the way, Yamamoto loves that song. That's his jam. I've seen players play it at his locker, and he gets a big kick out of it. He starts laughing and smiling. So go pick that up. Another great thing, Yamamoto saving that bullpen. Didn't have to use Roki tonight. But go to GearUp.LA for the best Dodgers t-shirts in the game. www.gearup.la. We got the big t-shirts, the thick ones, the different colors, the Comet, all kinds of awesome t-shirts you're going to find over there. Yamagoto, I see you in the chat. We don't give a F. I see you in the chat. Don't worry. We're going to get to you guys. We're going to read a lot of your chats, all your super chats. You get to cut the line, and you get to go right to the top. So let's see those super chats right off the bat. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I got super producer Antonio Tony Taters. He's doing this show. He's promoting it, and he's producing it remotely with his girlfriend, Tony Tortas. We got Tanya Tortas. How about that? Tanya Tortas. What do you guys think his girlfriend's name is? Antonio's. We got Hold That Blow Jays. Okay, come on. Now it's a family show. Silence the Crowd. Yoshi FTW. That's from Dan RV. $5 super chat. We got Marcos Garcia, $4.99. Dodgers added a tariff on Canada tonight. Long Balls Don, $4.99. Let's go. D-Mac, let's effing go. Let's go, Dodgers. Baby, I love that. We got Maxwell Matheson, $1.99. Shoey D-Mac for Yama. Look, I mean, I don't think you want a Shoey with some Coke Zero. I will give Yamamoto a Shoey, though, on Monday's show. I promise you that. Maxwell. I got you. Rambler on 57. Give us the Yama song. You want me to run it back? We'll run it back if you want. $2 appreciate because it is a banger. Prime Pride, Dodgers Nation for life, $10 super chat. Ryan, give me $20. One complete game, especially in the postseason, is impressive. But a second one, this time in the World Series. Ace is an absolute understatement to describe Yamamoto now. He's a legend. Yeah, that's why I said he is. I'm telling you, he's in that club now. A performance like this on this stage, the way he did it, hats off to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, worth every single penny of that $325 million. I bet on us. Did you? MM Forever. Drew 499. Yoshi don't speak English, but he speaks effing dog. Woof, 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 woof. Drew, that's a fire comment right there. Daniel Cesar 499. Is $325 million still too much money? He'd be a 20-game and Cy Young winner if the offense showed up this year. Hashtag future Hall of Famer. Yoshi equal killer on the payroll. $2 super chat. That's from Danny Darby. Long balls Don. Yamamoto is goated. Francisco Giles 499. Barger went 0 for 4 because he rejected the My Dog teaser from Big Papi. Yamamoto said no to the Jays today. Okay, keep finding away with those super chats. But even so, this is the one Dodgers post-game show, Dodgers live show that has all of your comments on the screen 24/7, 365 throughout. So keep chiming away because your voice is what makes this show go. First take for Yoshi plays $49.99 for Lola. Lola is like, I mean, she's like the Guggenheim group of this chat, always hooking it up. I appreciate that. Mr. Valdez, $9.99. Lots of dollar bills flying here for your Los Angeles Dodgers. But some more. We got Smash That Like button from Prone to Thrill. We got Yoshinobu Yamamoto is John Wick from Bilal K. I like that. That's a fire take right there. Absolutely awesome stuff. And we will hear from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. As he reacts to his start, which definitely is going to be one to remember. But let's talk about other moments in this game. We got to talk about other moments in this game because this Dodgers offense was frustrating at times. Kevin Gausman was very effective with that sinker in that splitter and basically had this offense at bay for most of the night. And it was a pitcher's duel, but thankfully the Dodgers scored more than 3.5 runs. And that's one thing I was looking at as one of the keys of this game is, can you give me more than 3.5 runs? Because that is what the Dodgers have been averaging on offense in the NLDS, in the CS, heading into this series. And thankfully you get 5 runs, and you'll take that when you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound. And what made things so impressive too, when you go back and you look at Yamamoto's start, is the Blue Jays, they had the leadoff hitter reach base in each of the first 3 innings, but they only scored on one of those situations. And that was when George Springer was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. He advanced to 3rd on a long single that hit the left field wall by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and then he ends up scoring on that sac fly that goes into center field. So that run-scoring fly ball, that would be it for the Blue Jays. After that, Yamamoto would retire 20 straight Blue Jays hitters. He struck out the side in the 8th inning. He was fantastic on the mound all night with the punch-out. Had 8 strikeouts, not double digits, but had no walks. He allowed just 4 hits He's the first Dodgers pitcher with consecutive complete games in the postseason since Orel Hershiser's final 3 starts in 1988. Hershiser, he also had the last Dodgers complete game in the World Series when he closed out the World Series to win it for the Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series against the Oakland A's that year. And it was really one of the better pitching duels we've seen in recent memory in the World Series, because Kevin Gausman, I mean, he did a really nice job neutralizing this Dodgers offense. He had them off balance all night. Dave Roberts said it during the broadcast that he felt like the Dodgers offense, they were almost respecting that splitter too much, and he felt like they were in between on it when he talked to Tom Verducci during the game. So basically they were in between on that splitter and the fastball, and they had no answer. Freddie Freeman got a couple fastballs, hit them hard to the deeper parts of Rogers Center, but they led to 2 outs. So there was a lot of meatballs out over the plate that the Dodgers just couldn't capitalize on because they were a little in between on that splitter fastball combination. But still, I think it was key to get that run early. With 2 outs, 2-out hitting, there's nothing I love more. It's 2-out hitting, baby. 2-out hitting is so... It really exemplifies, and it's emblematic of a really great offense. And with 2 outs in the first inning, Freddie Freeman doubled. Will Smith singled home to get the game's first run. Kevin Gausman, though, he would go on his own run. After that Will Smith single in the first inning to score Freddie Freeman, Kevin Gausman would retire the next 17 Dodgers in a row. And then Will Smith, he would break that own streak, saying, hey, I was the last guy to get a hit, and I'll be the first guy to get a hit. After Gausman had retired 17 straight Dodgers after that Will Smith RBI single in the first inning, it was Will Smith that stepped up to the plate, 1-1 count, and Will Smith, he is legend, the clutch prince. He crushed a dong to the second deck in the left field seats to break that 1-1 tie. And then a few batters later, Max Muncy, he goes the other way with the heater, and he crushed one into the left field bullpen. That ended Gausman's night, importantly, and gave the Dodgers a 3-1 lead. And if you go back and you look at that at bat, it's something that I caught. Gausman and Muncy weren't on the same page about something, and Max Muncy yells something to Gausman like, let's go, because Gausman, when he steps on the mound, he's kind of playing around with that step that he does, that tick that he has before he goes to the plate. And it looked like Max Muncy was saying, hey, go, make your pitch. And then Muncy was irritated. He talks to the umpire about it, and he goes about his at-bat. Few pitches later, he crushes that dunk. So I think that was a FU bomb by Max Muncy. I think that was personal. I think he wanted to punk Kevin Gausman. And I always say this, the best version of Max Muncy is Mad Max. Mad Max is the best Max. And I think that pissed off Muncy. I think he punked the ish out of him. He gave the middle finger. He said, hey, I'm going to hit this bomb. Go take a seat on the bench. Your night is through. So I think that was a big momentum changer. I really, truly do believe that. It was a go get out of the ocean moment, a moment like we saw against the White Sox a couple years with Tony La Russa type of moment, right? Max Muncy, when he takes things personal, things go bad for the other team. And I certainly think in that situation, there was something there. I'm curious if he talks, if someone asks him about it and what he says about it. That'll be very interesting. But then it's a 3-1 lead, and a 3-1 lead based on how Yamamoto was pitching, that felt like a 30-1 lead just because how much he was dominating, and they were able to get those key insurance runs that came in the 8th inning off of that Blue Jays bullpen. So you were able to see Jeff Hoffman, which was good. That was a major plus. Seeing more of these bullpen guys. They saw 6 yesterday, even though it was a blowout loss. So today you see Hoffman, which was valuable, and Andy Pages, he banged a single that snapped an 0-for-11 slump. Shohei Ohtani, he gets a single. You get a walk, a wild pitch. It's really like more of a hit by a pitch, but still, it was a bad play there by Andreas Jimenez, who tried for a no-chance double play with the bases loaded instead of just going home, and then you're able to get more runs in that inning. So bad defense by the Blue Jays. Better, there was a play early where Freddie Freeman overran a ball and we'll talk about that a little bit. But thankfully, it didn't lead to a run scored by the Blue Jays, so you don't really have to talk about it too much. But tonight was all about the offense doing enough. What do I always say? If you want the dub, you've got to slug. If you outslug your opponent in the postseason, you win by an 80+% clip. Tonight, the Dodgers hit the dingers, and they walk away with the win. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 9 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, no walks. And what makes this even more impressive is if you look at the run that the Blue Jays got off of Yamamoto, that came in the 3rd inning, and he hit George Springer with a fastball up and in, and Springer crying like a little baby like he is. I hate George Springer. Hate's a strong word. I never use it. I hate George Springer. Want to throw that out there. Hate the guy. There are Dodgers fans in heaven that did not get to see a World Series in 2017 because him and his filthy friends cheated and stole a World Series. So, yes, I do hate George Springer. And George Springer gets hit by the pitch. If it wasn't for that, we could be talking about a CG shutout for him tonight. That's how good he was. Because outside of that, and what happened in the first inning, after that, 20 straight retired. And he goes 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. Fantastic. Soft contact. That curveball was really a major weapon for him. Getting ground ball outs, easy stuff. And then Falefa, ground out to shortstop, curveball. He was working that curveball down to righties and lefties, and it was either getting strikeouts, it was getting soft contact. It was his best pitch tonight. Bottom of the 5th, 1, 2, 3. Bottom 6, 1, 2, 3. Strikes out Kirk with that nasty curveball. Goes away, perfectly tunneled. Had just it was just that rainbow yo-yo curve. He had the feel for it tonight. And then a couple batters later, bottom of the 7th, 1, 2, 3 again. Bichette, he pinch hit for IKF there in the 7th inning, and he gets him out. Bottom 8, struck out the side, gets Jimenez. Gets Springer swinging with that 4-seamer up in the zone. And, yeah, it was incredible. Just an all-time night in the bottom of the 9th. Gets Guerrero to ground to first. Again, that curveball inducing ground balls. Kirk line to center. Varsho popped to third. Dodgers get the win. And they're now 3 wins away from a World Series title. Their 9th in franchise history. Tonight, the Dodgers out-hit the Blue Jays 6-4. They win by a final score of 5-1. They get 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. And another thing that improved for the Dodgers tonight, last night 13 strikeouts. Tonight they dropped that down to 7. Not a lot of run scoring opportunities. They were just 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position, left 4 men on base. But the great equalizer is the long ball, baby. And the Blue Jays, 8 strikeouts. 1 for 4, the runners in scoring position, just 4 hits. Last night, the Dodgers had just 4 hits and lost. Tonight, the Blue Jays, one of the best lineups, one of the best offensive production outpouring moments that we've seen in this stretch in postseason history. They held this lineup to just 4 hits, an incredible job. And they also saw Louis Varland, who gave up 2 earned runs in this one. They saw Hoffman, and they saw Fisher. So another thing, too, you saw 6 guys yesterday, and today you saw Louis Varland and Hoffman, who are their best high-leverage guys. Things are looking good for your boys in blue. And now let's go to the comments. We are waiting for some sound. We got Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's about to talk to the media in Toronto. We'll hear from Will Smith. We'll hear from Max Muncy. We'll hear from Kiké Hernández. The Dodgers get the dub in Toronto. Let's get some more super chats, too. We got the super chats popping off. We got Avery, D-Mac the GOAT, Yamamoto the GOAT. Yeah, mama. Okay. I like it. Fire take for Yoshi, $49.99. Wow. Thank you so much, Lola. Appreciate that. We got Yoshi was a killer. T-Rex tonight. Yama Monster from Newmont. Max Power making an overdue appearance. We've got Barger went 0 for 4. Roberts, Dodgers banging trash can. George Springer. Muncy and Smith need statues outside of Dodgers Stadium. Andy Cayley. I don't know about that, but I do love their night they had Nico Suave, I'm going to Game 3, DMAC. I'm flying out Monday morning from NM. You going to be there? And also, did you find out if you're able to bring Mr. Cartoon Mask in? DM me on Twitter, and I will find out for you. And I meet a lot of you guys at the stadium, and look out for me walking around the concourse. I'll be there all day for sure. Long balls, Don 499. After the elation of the win settles, don't forget, job is not done. Francisco Giles, I want Justin Dean to hit a walk-off grand slam. Foxology, appreciate that. We've got Will for Real, Yamamoto, appreciate that. Yamagoto from Dirty Don. Yamamoto, say my name, Jedi Sparky. Okay, so Yoshinobu Yamamoto, one of the greatest pitching performances that we've ever seen by a Dodger. He made that happen, and they needed it. It wasn't, oh, this is cool that he did this. It was they needed it. The offense needed it because they didn't have it early. If he doesn't have it early, the Dodgers are down 0-2 right now. And you're really starting to fear that this series does not go their way. So with the pressure on, down 0-1, Yamamoto stepped up, and he was that guy. And right now he's talking to reporters in Toronto, and we are going to go to Toronto and hear from the man of the night, Yamagoto, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
It's been 10 years since the last complete game in a World Series. How much pride you take in going deeper in the games, knowing that it's something that rarely happens in this era?
今日のこれだけ完投できた深いイニングまでいけたというところにどれくらい誇りっていうかありますか？
本当に結果的にすごく嬉しく思いますし、立ち上がりは、球数がたくさんいっただけに、最後までいけるとは思いませんでしたけど、しっかり1イニングずつ、投げていけたので結果につながったと思います。
To be honest, because I was not thinking, I can complete the game because early on, because my pitch count racked up kind of quickly, but I'm very happy I completed the game.
Good. Dylan up front, guys.
You referenced that first inning. Obviously, you were in a bit of trouble. Your pitch count got up. How did you kind of go from that to, being as efficient as you were the rest of the game?
おっしゃったように球数がちょっと初回から多くなってしまったということなんですけども、ゲームが進むにつれてどういったアジャスト調整をしましたか？
やっていくことは決めてたので、初回はランナーためましたけど、なんとかゼロで乗り切れたので、切り替えて次のイニングに、行けましたし、失点した回は、デッドボールから先頭のデッドボールからの失点だったので、すごく悔しかったですけど、まだ同点だったんで、そこもうまく切り替えて、投げ続けれました。
I just adjusted as the game moved on, and then that was still first inning, and then 最初回。
初回はなんだっけランナーためましたけど。
And then, sorry, I carried, because I did two runouts on bases, and then but because I just reset my mind, and then the inning I gave up a run, because it started hit by pitch, and then I also just reset mind, and then after I gave a run, but that was still just tied, so I just kept going.
The fourth row straight back, Russ.
Yoshinobu, I know you write in your journal during starts. Usually, you were writing a little bit more often tonight. Was there something different that you were trying to do?
黒いノートの話なんですけども、あれを今日書いてた。You're talking about in the dugout, right? Black notebook. イニングあれどういう風にして使ってたんですか？
いつもずっと全部の試合でやってるんですけど、作戦面のことを書いてます。
I use that every game, and then it's more like a strategic note, and then I use that and check every in between innings.
We'll stay in the same spot, guys.
昨日はビッグイニングもあって厳しいゲームになりまして、今日は絶対に負けられないという気持ちもあったと思うんですけど、この雰囲気の中でどういう気持ちでマウンドに今日上がったんですか？
After the big loss last night, and then how did you prepare yourself to getting into this game?
初戦やっぱ落としてたのはすごく大きかったですけど、落としただけに、当然ですけど今日は絶対勝たないといけないなと はい、すごくこう気持ちが入りました。はい、まあそれがいい結果につながったと思います。
You know, as you said, that's a big loss. And then, needless to say, because today's game, we had to win. So I just how I treated this game.
Go to the fourth row on your left, guys.
お疲れ様です。中盤以降球数少なく、イニングを終わらせている中で自分の中でその完投9回まで投げ切れるんじゃないかっていうイメージというか、そのあたりはどのタイミングでそういうのをイメージできたかというのと、あと8回投げ終えた後に、93球だったんですけども9回行く行かないっていうのはその辺の何か首脳陣とのやり取りみたいなあれば教えてください。
That at what point? すみません。一つ目の質問もう一回いいですか？
どのあたりで9回投げ切れるっていうこうイメージができたか。
At what point in the game did you think, okay, I can complete today's game?
次の質問が8回終えて93球だったんですけど9回行く行かないっていうその何か首脳陣とのやり取りみたいなのあったんですか？
And then at the end of the eighth inning, pitch count was 93. And then did you talk about if you were going to the ninth inning or not with the coaches?
とにかく1イニングずつに集中してましたけど、5回終わった時に70球ぐらいでしたっけ？71だったんで、そこでもまだ9回までっていうのは意識してなかったですけど、とにかく1イニングに集中して、いけたのが、結果8回終わった時に、まだ球数も少し余裕があったのでいけるかなと思いました。はい、その後会話は特にないです。
At the end of the fifth inning, I believe pitch count was 71. So at the point, I was still trying to take one inning at a time. Then if I was going to the ninth inning or not, we didn't really talk about it.
Second row on your right, guys.
ナイスピッチングでした。相手が当ててくるという空振りをしないというデータはもちろんご存知だったと思うんですけども、そこでまたそれ三振を取りに対するとなかなか逆に相手のペースにはまるというか、その中でもう3回以降というかもう打たせてという、8回も 3者連続でしたけど、その辺の切り替えというかどういう攻めを考えてああいう形になったんですか？
I think you were aware of this lineup. They don't really swing out. And then how did you navigate? Because if they don't swing out and then getting contact, and then how did you navigate this game?
基本、僕のピッチングスタイルは、ストライクゾーンにどんどん投げていく。もちろん狙うコースとかはありますけど、基本はどのボールもストライクゾーンを狙って、思い切り投げていくっていうスタイルなので、特に変えたことは全くないですけど、自分のピッチングに集中しました。
My pitching style is just keep attacking the zone, and then so I didn't really change every pitch I throw. I focusing on getting to the strike zone. So there's not much adjustment in the game.
Go to Dice K in the third row.
お疲れ様です。おめでとうございます。特にスプリットの割合が特に前半はもう全部の球数の半分以上ぐらいがスプリット、これやはりその球が機能していたからなのか、あとは事前にやはりスカウティングレポートであったのか、両方なのかいかがでしょう？
So early in the game, because the first half of the game, you were throwing a lot of splitters, and then is that because your splitter was good, feeling good with a splitter, or just because you prepared going into the game?
作戦面のことはまだ言えませんけど、試合前のブルペンから、スプリットはすごく落ちてました。感覚はいつも通りだったんですけど、数値的にはすごく落ちてたので、試合入ってからもすごく調子良かったですし、初回からピンチだったんで自然と、増えたんじゃないかなとは、思います。
Going to the game, pre-game bullpen, I was feeling really good with a splitter, and then I cannot go into the detail of the pitch sequence or any a game planning, but I think because I was because I got in the trouble the first inning, so I was trying to get out of the inning. That's why, because I used many splitters.
So there was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, back-to-back complete games in the postseason. He finished the first World Series complete game since Johnny Cueto did it in 2015. So first time in 10 years, and it really was an all-time great World Series pitching performance. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he retired the last 20 batters he faced. Kevin Gausman had retired 17 at one point before the Will Smith home run the seventh inning. They became the first opposing starters in MLB postseason history to each retire 14-plus consecutive batters in the same game. So for a game that has offense galore on both sides, it was the pitching, and great pitching beats great hitting all day, every day, and tonight was a prime example. But just one of the best performances, even deeper than just how good it was numbers-wise, pitch a complete game, one. So one, pitch a complete game. Two, the Dodgers offense wasn't doing much most of the game, so they needed every single one of those moments, all the perfection that he really had. And yes, it wasn't a perfect game, but there was so much perfection within this complete game. They needed. Three, he absolutely beamed George Springer in the wrist. He almost hit him again in the kneecap later. And then he holds Vladimir Guerrero to 1 for 4. And that one was a single. It was a hard-hit ball, but he struck him out once in one of the biggest sequences of the game. So, yeah, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, this guy is not going to win the Cy Young. I just want to say something, though, because if you look at Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the year and everything that he meant for this Dodgers team, Yoshinobu Yamamoto was the one guy of these existing aces that pitched the entire season. For the regular season, Yamamoto, he made 30 starts. He went 173 in 2/3 innings, and he posted a 2.49 ERA and was phenomenal. And yes, Paul Skeens is going to win the Cy Young, but I'll tell you, Paul Skeens will be the Cy Young. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the MVP pitcher. He's the most valuable pitcher in Major League Baseball this year. More valuable than Paul Skeens is to the Pittsburgh Pirates, because Yoshinobu Yamamoto is ultimately going to be the difference for the Dodgers in the 2025 postseason. I don't think the Dodgers win the World Series without these performances by Yamamoto. And yes, he did not pitch well in Game 3 of the NLDS, but when you needed him most, Yamamoto brought it on the biggest stage. And what more can you say about this guy? I mean, really, just truly an all-time great performance. And now let's hear from some of his teammates. And the first big moment from the offensive side, the first inning 2-out double from Freddie was big. The single by Smith was big. But as far as if we're doing top 20 moments of this postseason, you're going to talk about those late inning home runs, and the first one was from Dill's Will Smith. Let's hear from Smitty after the game.
The best view of what Yamamoto was doing tonight, how masterful was it for him to navigate to pitch a complete game again?
Yeah, that was special. You know, he had his pitches going. He was locating the ball well. Just, mixing speeds, keeping them really off balance. That's what we needed. We needed a great start out of somebody. Yoshi stepped up today and gave it to us.
The Jays have shown you they're swinging early in the count. How did you guys navigate through that the first couple of innings and that long first inning for him to be so efficient after that?
Yeah, that was huge to get out of that with no runs. That was kind of a momentum swing for us. So we needed that. But, just mixing. Just doing what Yoshi does.
You're tied, I think, for the team lead in hits, and you lead the team in batting average in the postseason. But the home run was your first extra base hit. Is that a product of the hand just coming along?
I hope so, sure. But, that's me. I'm just trying not to do too much, trying to move the ball, help this offense score runs. You drive the ball great, but just hitting line drives everywhere.
You really had the two big hits that really got things going today. And you talked a little bit about trying to be with, stay within yourself before the game. You talked about that. Is that what you're doing in those situations? Yeah,
for sure. You can let the emotions get the best of you, try to hit a homer every time or be the hero every time, and it doesn't work out. So just trying to simplify, put together a good at bat, swing the right pitch, and move forward.
How did Gausman do in that stretch there? He tied 17 in a row.
Yeah, he was pitching really well. He was really locating the fastball at the bottom. The split was on. He threw a few sliders, maybe not as many as we thought, but he was just mixing his fastball and splitter, and that was tough at bats. He was pitching really well.
So what did you see in your bat of the home run?
Yeah, he threw me, all heaters. He got ahead 0-1, then kind of nibbled, was able to get back in the count. Get a mistake up and be able to keep it fair.
You don't really show a lot of emotion on the field, but after you hit your home run, you did look into the dugout and showed a lot more than we've seen. Was that just the urgency of needing to win this game?
Yeah. It's a big swing, obviously. It's the emotions running high, but also trying to get the guys going. Visky was in there right before the inning getting us going, so just trying to keep that momentum going for us.
How do you flip it on and off when you're behind the plate? Obviously, your job is to get Yamamoto through the innings, and then you come up to the plate and hit. Is there a switch that you have to flip?
Yeah, there for sure is. You just got to separate the two. Not let one affect the other. I've been lucky enough to do this for a while now, so just lean on that experience.
In the last 3 innings, what were you seeing from Yamamoto? Why it seemed like less stressful innings as the game got deeper?
Yeah, I just felt like he had a pretty good feel for what he was trying to do. He was just making pitches. He just kept going, kept attacking, kept getting swing and miss, weak contact. He was just pitching really well, keeping him off balance.
Thank you.
So there was Will Smith, and as we talked about at the top of the show, one too many fastballs to Smitty. You give him a chance to time things up, and he gets those hands in there, and he launches it over the fence, and it was great to see him get his first extra base hit of the postseason, and he mentioned it right there, that the hand could be a reason why, so that tells you offensively he's going to be in a good rhythm and in a really good spot for the rest of this series. And he just mentioned, too, Yoshinobu Yamamoto in the mixing that he did tonight, and he threw 32% splitter, 24% four-seam, 22% curveball, but he also mixed in a cutter, slider, and 4 sinkers. But he threw that splitter 34 times. That was more than any other pitch. And what makes that splitter just such an effective pitch is, first of all, you're seeing that at 93. That used to be most guys' sinkers, and it's his splitter. And that splitter, it looks like a four-seam fastball until it reaches the plate, and then it dives down, and it's impossible to hit. And when he's locating the fastball early in counts, it's very, very tough to see it and know what's coming from him. And this is a very aggressive Blue Jays offense, and Yamamoto took advantage of that. And yes, there were some spots where you saw some fastballs with 2-strike counts that you might want to have back, but still, Will Smith knew what he was doing, and Yamamoto knew what he was doing too. And when he kind of grooved that one into Springer early, they made an adjustment. And they were taking advantage of that aggression all night long by, hey, we'll throw it in the zone. We'll get some soft contact from that. And you gotta credit him because that pitch mix was just fantastic. I mean, the style that he has is just so tough for opposing hitters to prepare for, to execute good swings. You see him writing in that notebook and taking notes of swing decisions. And I don't know if that's his Arya Stark hit list that he's working on, just crossing out guys. I think he had George Springer right at the top, and he crossed that off. But basically, he's pitching off of that 92, 93 mile per hour splitter, and then he's going up to 97 with the fastball from that splitter, and then he's dropping down to 71, 72 in that 70s range with a curveball. So a lot of guys, it's starting with that fastball command, and then, okay, I'll have the slider tunnel off that. It'll dive off, curveball, dive off. But him, it starts with the splitter, and everything is playing off of that. Man, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. It's just so incredible. This guy's an absolute master at his craft. You look at tonight, 17 swings and misses. That's impressive. But the thing that impressed me the most, 11 groundouts, 3 flyouts, 105 pitches, 73 for strikes, attacking the zone, pounding the zone, getting soft contact. Yamamoto is one of those rare pitchers that can do it all. If you want a big strikeout game, he's capable of that. You want soft contact, I can do that. Pitches, I got them all, baby. The dude's worth all $325 million. Josh Reddick, that tweet is aging about as bad as 7-Eleven sushi in the sun. Josh Reddick, you are an idiot. You should delete that tweet. You look like a moron, because he asked on Twitter, how can you give a guy $325 million without ever throwing a pitch? Well, first of all, show some respect to the NPB, you moron, because that's a competitive league, and he won 3 MVPs, 3 Sal Moore Awards, and he's translating it to this league. I saw the haters out there. Yamamoto, the ball's too big, doesn't have grip on it. The mound's different. Dude's one of the best top 5 pitchers in the sport, and he's still just in his second year. So, hey, a masterclass of a performance. All those haters that were acting like he was a bust after that first appearance, that first start against the Padres in Seoul, South Korea. This guy's shut up every hater, and he's established himself as one of the best in the game, and you love to see it. All right, next big home run. It was Maximum Muncy who went deep on Gausman. Let's hear from Max.
Max, you even up the series. We talked before the game. There was no sense of panic in you or the team.
No, not at all. Last night was obviously a dud, but it happens sometimes. We just ran into an offense that was really hot. Tonight, Yama was able to shut him down. We were able to get some runs on the board for him, give him a little support, and make those last couple innings a little bit easier for him.
What can you say about Yamamoto? Did he pitch you back into the World Series tonight?
Sure, if that's what you want to say. But, he was just absolutely incredible. He was, it's 2 starts in a row where, he gave leadoff homer last time, and then today he threw 20, 25 pitches in the first inning. I don't know what the number was. I know it was a lot. And then in order to keep his pitch count down and complete an entire game, it's just really, really impressive. Nothing seems to faze him, and it's really fun watching him pitch.
How masterful was he? Do we fully appreciate how he navigated the early couple of innings to be able to finish the game?
Well, I know we do. I don't know if everyone else does. It's really, really fun to watch him pitch. He really has an idea what he wants to do. He executes his pitches, and nothing seems to faze him. All he thinks about is how he's going to execute his next pitch and how he's going to navigate the at-bat.
I had a front row seat to you and Will's home run inside the left field foul pole. Did you feel like Gausman's pitches were being left up in that inning? Did you take anything away from the previous at-bats?
He was really executing his splitter today. We got some good swings off on the fastball. We just weren't hitting it, and he left a couple up that inning, and we were able to get to it.
Happy flight back to L.A. Tied 1-1 in the World Series, Muncy.
Absolutely.
Thank you for stopping.
Of course.
There he goes.
I had a choice.
There he goes.
Mad Max talking to SNLA. And I'm telling you, go back and watch that at bat. Gausman was doing that leg jumpy thing that he does before he pitches that feels almost like it's bordering into balk territory. And Muncy, I don't think he was happy about it. I'm surprised that no one asked Max Muncy about that. I'll ask Max Muncy about that when I see him before Game 3. I'm very curious to see what that was about. So I'll talk to Max and I'll get to the bottom of that. But all right, Dave Roberts. By the way, before I get to Dave Roberts, you see this dude with this shirt? I bet on us, you. Look at this Blue Jays fan. I bet on us, you. I bet on Yamamoto. I bet on Max Muncy and Will Smith and this Dodgers team. That's who I bet on. Oh, you hope you bet. How much money did you lose? In the very next game, this clown should wear a T-shirt that has the exact dollar amount of the money he lost for betting on the Blue Jays, because a blue team won tonight, and it was Dodger blue, not Blue Jay blue. All right, let's hear from Dave Roberts, who is just about to speak to the media in Toronto after the Dodgers' 5-1 win over Toronto. The Dodgers are on a plane, and they're going to be headed back to L.A. Hopefully they won't have to get on a plane and go back to Toronto. Here was Dave Roberts.
4 rows back on your left.
Hi, Dave. Congratulations.
Thanks, Steve.
Don't hold back any superlatives. Talk about your starting pitcher's performance.
Outstanding, uber competitive, special. Yeah, he was just locked in tonight. It was one of those things he said before the series, losing is not an option, and he had that look tonight.
Other questions for Doc? We'll go to the last row in the back.
Sticking with pitching, Yamamoto was throwing a lot of splitters early, then went to his cut fastball the second round around the Jays order, then to his fastball second time around the order, then to his cutter last time around the order. Was that more of a game plan thing or a control thing?
That was more of a feel, read, and react thing. The great thing about Yoshi is he has 4 pitches to get lefties out, righties out, and you're reading hitters and making adjustments. I thought Will Smith did a fantastic job. I thought Mark Pryor did a great job game planning, and Yoshi executed.
Ross, 4th row, straight back.
Hey, Doc. Yoshinobu hasn't pitched in as many postseasons as most of your roster, yet time and time again in these situations, high pressure, he seems to perform. What is it about maybe his personality that allows him to pitch like this in these moments?
I think, he's pitched in huge ball games in Japan. He's pitched in the WBC. And, players that have the weight of a country on their shoulders, that's pressure. And so I just feel that part of his DNA is to just perform at a high level in big spots and control his heartbeat and just continue to make pitches. So, I mean, he could have won another, 30, 40 pitches tonight.
I'll stay there with Jake.
Will struggled last postseason, and it seemed as if during the regular season this year, you guys were a little bit more intentional about managing his workload in order to have him be ready for this time of the season. Is tonight kind of what you envisioned when you instituted that plan?
It was, but last year he was banged up and wasn't playing well in September and through the postseason. This year, certainly managing his workload, and then he fractures his hand, and so I think the last week, that week off, I think got him over the hump, and it was the first time in a while he's pulled a ball like that, so I think that's part of the healing process.
And then overall, does he look fresher and healthier to you right now than he did at this point last year?
Absolutely. And the catching is such a demanding position, but I think overall mental clarity, the body's fresh.
Third row on your far left, Tyler.
You may have touched on it right there, but with Will, despite the injury, he had maybe his best year offensively, and he's always been pretty good. But how has he gotten better? How has he developed as a player over the 7 years you've had him?
I think the game calling, the relationship with the pitchers has continued to get better. He's always had the bat to ball, the ability to hit to all fields, the ability to hit versus left versus right. He understands when to pick his spots. He does his homework. And I think at the end of the day, he's a guy that just doesn't panic. He's really got a flatline heartbeat, and in the postseason, that's what you need.
In the row behind, AJ.
Dave, given the way the game was going, with both pitchers pitching the way they were, what did it feel like in the dugout when Will hit the home run and then Max followed him?
Huge relief. Goss was throwing the baseball really well. We were in between, I thought, offensively with the fastball. And, when Will, got in that 3-2 count, just missed the 3-1 heater. And then they went to the well again and, hit a homer, and there was just complete elation. We felt that the way Yamamoto is throwing, runs are certainly going to be hard to come by. And then when Max backed it up with another homer, just huge relief. And then to build an inning after that was big. But, yeah, that homer, kind of a big exhale from the dugout.
Right up front, Dylan.
Dave, I'm guessing after that first inning, you're not thinking he's going 9. How did your bullpen plan kind of evolve over the course of that game? And at what point did you think, shoot, he might be able to finish this thing?
After that first inning, I was thinking 6. I felt he would find a way to get through 6. It's an aggressive swinging team. I thought the stuff was good, so I felt that he could manage to get through 6. And then the pitch count kind of stayed where it needed to stay. And then for me, I just didn't see anything fall off as far as his delivery and the execution.
And you said that you guys really didn't talk about going out in the 9th?
No, it was a no-brainer.
Up front to your left, Ron.
You were around to see Oral in your teenage years, and you've seen and heard all the stories about Sandy. As you've watched the last 2 games, does it seem to you like a throwback to a different era?
It's yes. I think that you look at Yamamoto. It's kind of the throwback in the sense of when he starts a game, he expects to finish it, and he'll go as long as I let him. But that's his intent.
I'm going to bury straight ahead, Doc.
Hey, Doc. So following that up, it would seem to me this is like the first Dodger complete game in the World Series since Oral pitched 2 in the 1988 World Series. As far as history goes, and you're a student of history, what does that feel like for you? I think obviously it's the first one in the 5 you've managed. So, and I think this is like the 3rd since Jack Morris. How do you feel about all that?
Well, I love it. I love feeling that the starter is the best option to go 6, 7, 8, and what Yamamoto's doing 9 innings. And you got to be efficient. You got to have the weapons to be able to take down a lineup 3 times, forward 4 times, whatever it is. And you got to want to do it. And so he is a throwback player. He works really hard in his prep and his delivery and the mindset. So for me, it's a lot of fun to root for a guy, and you feel good about leaving a guy like that in.
And now he's done it in back-to-back games.
And he's done it in back-to-back postseason games.
So just great stuff from Yamamoto. A couple things that Dave said there that really add some extra layers to this master class of a start from Yamamoto is, that first inning, it looked like maybe he goes 6. If he really settles down and he's efficient, he could go 7, because he did throw 23 pitches in that first frame, but then he got ultra efficient in the middle innings. He had an 8-pitch 5th inning, had a 6-pitch 4th inning, was going 1-2-3, 1-2-3, was getting those ground ball outs, getting those fly ball outs, and all of a sudden you're looking at, hey, he's out there in the 9th inning. So it was just really improbable the way things started, and he's a guy that knows how to settle down and bounce back. You also mentioned, when you're pitching in the Japan series, when you're pitching in the WBC, these guys do have the pressure of an entire country. And we're talking 100+ million people that care about what you're doing and how you're performing. And these guys, they're unfazed, whether it be Shohei, whether it be Roki, whether it be Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And Yamamoto proved tonight, once again, how he's able to just slow his heartbeat down and control the situation. And we saw in the NLCS, after he gave up the home run, the first pitch of the game to Jackson Chourio, and then he bounces back and he has a complete game after that. Tonight, George Springer gets to him, and then he's able to work his way after that inning. And it was just great composure and great poise for a guy that is just in his second year in this league. Let's not act like he's been in this league for 15 years and he's had all these moments, right? This is his second year, and he's already doing this, and we've got him for the rest of his prime for sure. And I think he goes down as a legendary Dodger. I think there is a chance if he could be in the Hall of Fame one day. I mean, he's that good, and he's that special. And don't forget, too, the very first Dodgers podcast that had any mention of the name Yoshinobu Yamamoto was Dodgers Dugout Live, and it was multiple times, and it was my friend and I, Jose Mota, talking about the great Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Don't ever forget the first one to mention Roki Sasaki. The first one said Shohei Ohtani was going to sign here. So we're definitely proud of that kind of stuff, trying to get you guys all the info because we love you out there. All right, some more Super Chats. Let's get also non-Super Chats, too, guys. I got super producer Antonio looking for your Super Chats out at our Santa Clarita studios. Antonio Tony Tater says, Sunnyside Canadian bacon tortas on deck. Man, I could go for the juiciest, most delicious torta. I haven't eaten. I can't eat during games. I'm just sick. And so I got to get a torta after this one. Going to go to my truck up the street here. We got Xander 808 Blow Jays. Blow Jay. Did you misspell that one? Or did I read it wrong? Says Blow Jays fans thought they won the series in game 1 the way they acted. What did we say last night? Just one game. We got Extra Showtime, $2. Where are all the loudmouths from last night's chat? Everyone thought we were done, right? I've got receipts longer than CVS that we'll read at some point. But Philip Chua, bring out the Hernandez brothers, not the Jonas brothers. I like that. I like that. The Jonas brothers did their thing. We've got Delirium. Is Scherzer pitching Monday? Wow, if he doesn't get ejected for sticky stuff, we'll score double-digit runs. I like that. I like that. I'm here for that. We've got who's your Dodgers dog of the game? So that's a good one. We'll get to that. We'll do our MV3 and our Dodgers dog of the game. And I think that this one is offensively, you could say it's Will Smith. You could say it's Max Muncy. And those guys definitely deserve it. Will Smith, don't forget, he's the guy who was catching the ball from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I thought he called a really, really good game. All those he can't catch good games like Ben Rortvedt. All those allegations have gone to bed. So that's definitely good to see. But I think there's no doubt about it. The Dodger dog of the game is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. The way that he pitched, the way that he brought it today. I mean, what can you say about the guy? One of the best pitching performances we'll see from a Dodger, considering the offense, considering the situation. So, yeah, absolutely no doubt about it. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is my Dodgers dog of the game.
Dodger Dog of the Game.
Now, who's the MV3? If you're new to the show, we pick an MV3. That's the 3 most valuable players for this game. I'm going Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Hey, he's like, hey, point to your head. The bullpen can't mess up a game for you if the bullpen never pitches, right? 2, Will Smith. 3, got to go Max Muncy. I mean, those runs were key, right? The 2 home runs and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So I think it's a pretty easy MV3. By the way, I do want to send a special thoughts and prayers to Alex Vesia. I know it's been a couple of days now, but I definitely want to make sure we're continuing to mention him on this show. We're continuing to mention him just because he's definitely with this team. I'm sure it's a motivating factor for these guys. So thoughts and prayers to Alex Muncy, who wishes he could be on this team for sure, helping them. There's no doubt about it. Also, stay tuned later for the breakdown. We will do the breakdown on the LA Sports Report. And if you're unfamiliar, the LA Sports Report, that's my new channel, my new show. A lot of time and money invested in this channel. It's about the Lakers, Dodgers, UCLA, USC, Chargers, Rams, LAFC, Galaxy, all things LA sports, and we can also do live breakdowns with real highlights over there, so it's a little different. So if you want to do me a huge favor and you want to win a giveaway, a Clayton Kershaw bobblehead, a Luka Doncic jersey, go to the LA Sports Report. I'll leave the info in the description. You can subscribe there. But yeah, if you guys want to really support me, subscribe to the LA Sports Report. And when we come back, we'll hear from Mookie Betts and Kiké Hernández, and then I'm going to read all of your chats for the rest of the show. LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
All right, yeah, so definitely subscribe, check that out. Shout out to my friend Todd Lights. All right, now this is really cool. We've got sound from Mark Pryor. We'll run down the box score. Someone says Teoscar Hernandez sucks. Not a great night for Teoscar Hernandez. And look, here the truth is, I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to have every player in your lineup on fire, hitting on all cylinders every single series. If it weren't for Teoscar Hernandez, do you win the NLDS? Because he was one of the few guys. One of the big issues this whole entire postseason is all these solo home runs. Tonight the Dodgers won, but more solo home runs. A solo from Will is a solo from Muncy. Teoscar is one of the few guys that has a home run with runners on base this postseason, right? He's the one guy that's done that. And tonight, he goes 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. He was expanding. There were some situations for Teo where, yeah, you want a better result from him. There's no doubt about it. I look at the first inning there with the runner on first. He went out swinging on a splitter down the zone, and yeah, a golden sombrero game is not what you want. You definitely don't want that in the World Series for sure. But yeah, he'll get it going. I'm sure of that. I really am. And like I said, so you're not gonna have all guys hot. He played his role in the DS. He had some moments in the NLCS too. So let's not forget that Teoscar Hernandez, he is a big reason why this Dodgers team is here. He's going up against his old team of the Blue Jays. Maybe he's pressing just a little bit, going against his old squad in an old building. But hey, I mean, Teoscar's home run in Game 2 of the NLCS was huge against the Brewers, and his home run in Game 1 of the NLDS, you could make the case it's the most important home run that we've had so far in the postseason, at least one of them, considering that team and that opponent. So I think you got to consider that as well. But I'm really excited to listen to this. This is Dodgers pitching coach Mark Pryor talking about Yamamoto's virtuoso masterclass of a performance in Game 2 of the World Series.
And then he, makes another really good pitch to Lucas, and gives up a flare. Just kept making pitches, and it's things that we've seen that in the past from him. But he just really determined, stayed disciplined to his process, and really just unwavering. Just I'm going to make pitch, and I'm going to execute, and he's going to gather the information and go on to the next pitch. And from then on, he was in pretty much control the whole time. So it's really his emotional, heartbeat, however you want to say it, just doesn't seem phased. And given the situation, given the magnitude of these games, given what we were coming off of last night, it's remarkable. It really is. It's really impressive.
It's a big performance by one of your players when Mark Pryor, the pitching coach, is doing post-game scrums. So, yeah, you got to love that for sure. And then, of course, you always got to love the great Kiké Hernández. Kiké Hernández, he struggles against splitters, so I was a little worried about him tonight. But still, hey, he's always going to be there for this team. And here was Kiké. I'm sure he had some really interesting thoughts to put into perspective Yamamoto's all-time great outing.
Kiké, first and foremost, this game, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, what can you just say about what he's been able to do on this mound, especially this postseason?
He's the man. He's the man. That's why everybody wanted him last year when he was trying to come over to the U.S., and he's worth every penny. He showed it. The amount of growth he showed in the last 2 years for a guy that, accomplished pretty much everything over there, is pretty impressive. He looks like he's been there, done that a lot, which he has, because that guy's been winning his entire career, and it shows.
This offense, how you guys have been able to build innings. When you guys made the adjustments to Kevin Gausman, what is a big swing, whether it's from Will Smith or Max Muncy? How can that boost the offense moving forward?
I mean, Willie gave us the lead, twice. Those were huge swings. Last 2 nights, it's been tough. It's been tough to score, and they've done a great job. Their pitching staff has done a great job, but tonight we didn't lose confidence in ourselves, and we kept going. And obviously Willie, with the game he had, unbelievable. Not just with the base hit, RBI single and the homer, but also hustling down the line and not avoiding the double play to get us another run. Huge. Muncy with his backside homer, amazing. Pajes, starting the rally there with a base hit, getting on base. Good team effort. Some of us didn't do anything like me, but glad we got the win.
You know what? You did something actually very important, though, for you. This is your 87th postseason game in Dodger blue. That's the most in Dodger history. I mean, I know you've talked about it a few times this week. It's been special. But to be just in that position, what does that mean to you right now?
Right now, it means to me we're 3 games away from winning World Series. It's a truly special accomplishment. Obviously, there's been a lot of really big names, a lot of history in this franchise, a lot of postseason games played on this team, and for a guy like me to have the most games played, unbelievable. I don't even know how to answer that question, but I guess I'm proud that I've lasted this long to be able to get this opportunity to be by myself, and hopefully we only have to play 3 more.
Hopefully that's the case. Kiké, congratulations on this win, and let's go back to Los Angeles and do some more.
Let's do it.
Congratulations to Kiké Hernández, the most postseason games played in Dodgers history now with 87, passing Justin Turner. You have a lot of Dodgers within this time frame on that list. Chris Taylor has 80, Max Muncy has 74, so that means something to him. Kiké Hernández was informed of this from Eric Steven the other day before one of the games, and he got emotional about it, and it definitely means something to him. I love, too, another thing he brought up, too, was a sneaky play in this game in the 8th inning. Will Smith grounding to that fielder's choice to short, but he rounds that out, and he's safe, and he was able to show that effort, and they were able to get another run because that scored Ohtani on that play to make it a 5-1 game. So, yeah, just a fantastic night for Will Smith, his best game of the postseason. But, all right, so now let's go to you guys. It's time for the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, here we go. We got $5 super chat from Nassaroe. $5. D-Mac Yamamoto killed the Blue Jays. Come on, man. Can't read that. No gods needed, man. I love that. Jonas Brothers was their Fat Joe moment from SIG4. Dan Veer 5 regarding Springer D-Mac. If you have hate in your heart, let it out. It's obvious. I'm just being tongue in cheek. Okay, I'm just being. There's like real life hate and there's baseball hate. It's more like baseball hate. Okay, I'm still angry about what happened in 2017. Okay, and I will tell you there's a reason why. I was at Dodger Stadium once. I had someone come up to me and get emotional because it was like their family's dying wish to see a World Series win in 2017. They passed away and they can't see another World Series. So it always resonated with me that moment. Yoshi MVP after Game 6 win. I think the leaders of the clubhouse is Yamamoto and Will Smith right now. Still a lot of series to go. Hey, Ohtani contributed tonight. So if Ohtani gives you a gem on the mound, hits a couple home runs, he's a tough guy to beat. But I do think that Yoshi was so special tonight that if it does go to a 6 game, which we hope it does not, and he pitches, well, here's the thing. You're definitely going to see that for sure. He'll absolutely be in that mix. If he does have another great start and the Dodgers win, it's because of him. No one cares about the Clippers, $2. Yeah, it's mostly Lakers. Drip Show Hop, $5. Drip Show, Dodgers canvas. Jenna signed for it. Hope you received it, Doug McKain. Yeah, awesome, man. I'll definitely, hey, if I got that, where'd you send it to? But I appreciate it, Drip Show. You're the man. We got Mario Landverde, low-key scared of Scherzer. Don't be scared of Scherzer. 4-seater 777. Mark Pryor is an intense pitching coach mastermind. No wonder our pitchers are so prepared and taken care of. Yeah, it was cool to see him talking about that after the game. Sig Forever. Freddie is making good contact. He's going to break out. He's close to breaking out. I mean, look, tonight, I mean, he's close to breaking out. I mean, Freddie Freeman had his fingerprints on this win, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Freddie Freeman had the 2-out double in the first inning that led to the Will Smith single. I think the scary moment with Freddie came in the bottom of the second inning when Freddie Freeman overran an easy pop-up right in front of home plate from Clement that allowed the leadoff hitter to reach. That's his ball, but he didn't make a play on it. Should have been 1 pitch, 1 out. Thankfully, Yamamoto had a strikeout, and Mookie Betts made a nice play at shortstop later to get out of that inning. But, yeah, I think that Freddie Freeman's doing just fine. I'm not worried about Freddie. And, yeah, I mean, what he did last year, this guy he's already in, hey, never have to buy a drink in this town status for sure. We've got Cesar. Oh, man, you guys are firing off with the takes. I love it, man. We've got Dodgers fans need to chant, you can have. Oh, I love this. This is the comment of the show. The infamous El Guapo 15. Dodgers fans need to chant, you can have him when Ohtani steps up to bat. I love that. Caesar Cheerios, $5. D-Mac, I'm assuming the Dodgers have to hit Max. He is 41 years old. How confident do you think we can hit him? Very confident. A lot of guys have seen Max Scherzer a lot. This is not Cy Young Max Scherzer. They just got to look. Here's the one thing, too. If you were concerned about the whole rust thing and the Dodgers having 6 days off, well, now you played 2 games. You're going to get a nice little reset day tomorrow, and the at-bat quality was better tonight. It certainly was. They stayed with it, and even though they got a really good start at a Gausman, it was the Dodgers that ultimately imposed their will on him that led to him getting chased and leaving that game with home runs from Will Smith and Max Muncy. So Smith and Muncy hitting bombs is big. Muncy's been really sneaky locked in since the Brewers series, since the wild 8-6-2 double play. He's been locked in, hitting the ball hard. And then Smith had his first extra base hit of the postseason, and that's big. I think Teoscar's slumping a little bit. He got a hit yesterday. Mookie's have some good at-bats. I feel good about this offense. I think they're due for their explosion game like the Blue Jays had in Game 1. I really do think that. We've got some more super chats. Dirty Don 499. Yamamoto, can we pitch the ball at Springer, not to Springer? Okay. Daniel Cesar 499. Split secured. Next step is to put Max Scherzer's career in the ground and bury it with a show and Snell bringing us home. Dodgers in 5. Champagne emoji. I love that. We've got Michael Tracy, D-Mac, they killed the bullpen. What's the solution there? And do we have enough depth in the pen because we can't expect complete games every outing? Yeah, I mean, you need to get 5 innings essentially every start. And the Dodgers, they did not get the start they're hoping for from Blake Snell, who didn't have his fastball command in game 1. But the Dodgers offense is due at home to have some really, really good offensive showings. And yes, you don't have Alex Vesia, but Roki is fresh, Blake Trinan's fresh, and it kind of is the rust versus rest debate. But you're going to have to write starting pitching, and I think you're going to have a better performance from your offense than you saw in game 1, and they're going to have to pick up the slack. That's the key to winning this series. Is the Dodgers bullpen with Emmet Sheehan struggling, Anthony Bonner to have a nice appearance, their weakness, but still, I have the confidence in knowing you have a really good rotation, and we'll see if they do deploy some of the Will Kleins, the Edgardo Henriquez's, guys like that are really fresh as well. I still feel like this team has enough in the pen to get it done. I mean, you're going to have to trust Blake Trinan. You're going to have to trust Roki Sasaki, and you're going to need some really good starts from Tyler Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani. And then if you can get Snell in game 5 at home with a chance to clinch this thing, I think you feel really, really good about your chances. This Dodgers team is really tough to beat. They got their split. They have home field advantage now. Like, they're the big, heavy favorite in this series for a reason. Now, you can't take the Blue Jays lightly because that offense is so good. But can we also put to bed this stupid thing about them cheating? Hey, shout out to the Blue Jays for not cheating tonight. Thanks for that. You only cheat in game 1, right? That was the dumbest thing I've heard in a while. We got some more super chats down below. Appreciate this. Here we go. Yeah, got some more. You guys are going off. We got Yoshi-san. We got DMAC. Will Snell pitch game 5. We've got Paul Gutierrez. Yeah, the way the rotation's set up, the Dodgers, they're going 1 through 4. Snell game 1, Yamamoto game 2, Glasnow game 3, Ohtani game 4, Snell game 5, Yamamoto game 6, and then we'll see if it goes to game 7. If you go Glasnow and maybe Shohei Ohtani's available in some capacity. He hasn't gone on less than 4 days rest this entire year. We got Get Their Mojo on a roll. It's scary to think that our starters can go 7-8 quality innings and the bullpen can come home and close the game. DMAC, great cap. Yep. Shout out to my friends over at Born and Raised for sending this over to me. Big shout out to those guys, always with the freshest gear. Doug, what about the Bruins' performance today? Yeah, hey, let it be known. The UCLA Bruins football team was the story of college football for 2 weeks. Now Cinderella has become a pumpkin, and they got their butts kicked by the Indiana Hoosiers. Yeah, man, that was rough. All right, guys, where are the boo birds? Josh Reddick is a clown. MTV Gen X watcher. Umpires need to check Scherzer's glove for real. Here's another super chat. We've got Bilal K. Yamamoto's performance tonight is going to contribute to Snell having a far better game. Next one. I do think these guys feed off each other, and I know that Blake Snell wants to have a better showing. And it's not like he was bad. He battled out there. He gave them a chance to win. He made the most of what he had. It had been 11 days since he made his start, and I think that contributed to not being the Blake Snell that we had seen. So I definitely agree. Dirty Don 499. I heard the last 5 World Series winners have had a Will Smith on their roster. There you go. Comment the show, and hopefully that trend continues here. I love that. Okay, couple more. Drip Show, $2. Sent canvas to Dodgers Nation address. Thank you. I cannot wait to see them. I will feature them on the show. I promise when I get them. You guys send me stuff. I'm down. You know my motto, right? I'm a pretty cheap dude for a lot of things. If it's free, it's for me. If it's free, give me 3. Okay. Mile Baltzar, $50. Luka, Lakers, Yoshi Ohtani, LED, LA Sports in good hands. Love to see it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by dodgersnation.com. Go to gearup.la for all the best Dodgers t-shirts in the game. Fresh gear over at gearup.la. Definitely go get a Yamamoto shirt. Go get a Roki shirt. Go get a Let's Ruin Baseball shirt. That would be awesome. Go do that. But that is going to do it. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok. I'm on all those platforms. Subscribe to the LA Sports Report. Download the Discord. Download the Dodgers Nation app. All that great stuff to keep us locked in. And you guys, as we always do, you're rocking with me on a – holy crap, we had so many today. I got to give you shout-outs at the end. So let's give you guys your shout-outs here for the walk-off. We got Dusty Willis, thank you. 33 DLC, Praise G. We got to Dan Moreno. Everyone drop that like button. Thank you, Dan. Sunpine shout-out. Dave Machado. Shun Collector. Slash for Real. Sunny. XX Showtime. S. Gons 11. Tina Guzman. Tina Guzman with the dab emojis. Ski 187. Jack. Alex. Rose Marino. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. Lola, can I follow you home? I'm just kidding. Whoa. Calm down. Calm down, Lola. Appreciate you, though, as always. Mario Laverde. Cody Lou. You got a what? Cody Lou. Who remembers the great Cody Lou, former super producer at Dodgers Nation? He took his talents to ESPN. So, yeah, he treated Dodgers Nation like they were like AAA. Now he's in the show on ESPN. Ella Shiva Jones, D-Mac is the GOAT Dodgers stream. Appreciate you, Ella Shiva, Tina Guzman. 3 more jobs not finished. I love that. Claudia, big shout-out. We got Just Showtime, baby, D-Mac. We got Ray Soto, Professor Hamamoto, 14 Habibs, Nico Suave, Ruined Baseball, Not My Feelings. I like that. 79 Mikey, let's go Dodgers. Love you, Dodger Nation. Love you back, Bong Song. Jack, CRV Country, Yamamania. We've got Cesar, One More Thing, F. Springer, Rambuto, I Bet on Us, Dodgers. David Machado, 14 Habibs. We've got Kamini, I love Lola. There you go. Lola's getting a lot of love. Bong Bong, we've got AU Potter, Miss Mod, Cesar 17, Nico Suave, Alex, BC, XX, all you guys, Alba, Fresno State, enjoy your tour to I Will. Himmy Turner, Sunnyside, Gary, Bong Bong. We've got Bobby Bowie, MTV Gen X, Cesar, Kaiser, Skia, and David Machado, and Don Davis. Good night, D-Mac. Jeremy Hughes, thank you so much. And all you guys, enjoy this win. Enjoy that Sunday off. And we'll see you Monday. I will be at the game, covering the game, giving you wall-to-wall coverage. So follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Follow Dodgers Nation as well. My name is Doug McKain. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell on that way out. And the most important thing is that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.